welcome back to Flashley Plays with Eliza. Um, yeah, we're looking at Chapter 5 of the News Actronics game Eliza. And last night's session was a little bit heavy for me. Without going into too much detail, there was some stuff there that really hit home. I'd been writing off the way that literally just before they revealed like their version in the story, I'd been writing off the fact that she'd lost 3 years and didn't know where she'd been for 3 years and all of that jazz as, oh, well, there's probably some kind of quasi-sci-fi story trope coming up here, and we're going to see all of this sort of stuff. And then straight out of left field, for me at least, she opened up about it and started talking to her friend about how she'd been feeling and what was going on with her, and that came unexpectedly. Also, on a similar vein, in last night's session as well, we found out about your old colleague, your friend, who it was fairly easy from the little details they'd snuck out previously to assume that poor guy had got too stressed working for Skanda and committed suicide, but in a somewhat gruesome twist of fate, they revealed that he had a pulmonary embolism, which is basically telling you that he worked himself to death. He didn't commit suicide, no. But he did just sit at his desk and sat there still without moving for so long, just kind of stressing and working away at his development project, that he got a blood clot in his arteries and died at his desk, and that it was your character, Evelyn, that found him, which started this whole kind of process of not being able to deal. She goes off into a heavy depression, and it's off the back of this where she's starting to kind of claw her way back into something resembling normal life that we started this story. And she's coming back around to her old employer, undercover, working as one of these proxies for the system that she helped design. So that's kind of where we ended up last session. My stream is not looking correct. Hang on a second. What have we got going on here? Right, let's try that again. Right, so let us continue the harrowing journey that has been Eliza. This morning, Ray looks a little down. It's noticeable since she's usually so cheerful.
Good morning, Evelyn.
Now, interestingly, they've used exactly the same portrait for Ray And she's got pretty much the same facial expression on, I think, every single time you see her. Not to mention the same clothes. Yeah.
There are lemon bars in the kitchen.
Well, that's nice.
Thanks. Did something happen?
Oh, it's nothing big.
It's your brother, isn't it?
Apparently some famous writer I never heard of wrote an essay about how Eliza is bad because it represents the mechanization of humanity or something. I should be used to it. We're a pretty big target, right? Still, it gets on my nerves. We work hard to build something with value, and then some self-styled intellectual gadfly comes along and just goes, actually, that's bad. You guys are ruining society. To guys like him, everything's a doom and gloom scenario. The people we're helping, that somehow doesn't count. This kind of thinking never bothers you?
Maybe a little, or I guess I'll have to read it.
I guess I'll have to read it.
There was this quote from someone who worked on Eliza who turned into a big critic. Nora something. Did you work with her?
Maybe. Oh yeah, we work pretty closely, or I did. She's a friend, actually. I mean, I'm already establishing Ray as like my work-based bestie, so I don't really want to put her nose out of joint too much. I think I'm just gonna say, oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. We worked pretty closely.
That'll do, won't it?
Yeah? What's she like? I'm curious how you go from building something to turning around and disparaging it publicly like that.
She's kind of a rebel, I guess. Or she's an artist and a musician now. So the second one's going to invite judgment. First one's going to offer maybe an explanation.
She's kind of a rebel, I guess. She used to be really shy and reserved, but lately she's become a lot more outgoing. Even back then, though, she had a pretty strong idea of what was right and what was wrong, and sometimes she'd clash with management. She left Skanda at some point after I did. Maybe the battles took their toll, or she wasn't able to win enough of them. These days she focuses on electronic art and music and activism. I think she's pretty popular, at least in those circles.
Well, it must be nice to have the ability to live that way.
Ray.
What about Damien? Do you think it would be fair to his memory to abandon work on Eliza? To give up on his dream?
Whoa. So yeah, Damien is his colleague that died in his chair. And we as Evelyn actually also just abandoned work on Eliza and gave up on his dream. You're directly calling us out in the process of trying to call Nora out.
Wouldn't he want these mental health tools accessible to everyone?
How do you know about that?
The other day, I was looking at more of your papers, the ones from when you were at the university, and clicking on the links to your co-author sites. That's when I saw Damien's page. It didn't have much information on it, but I understand a little better why... I'm sorry, Evelyn, it's just that all of us, you and me and Damien and even Nora, too, we all worked hard to make something with the intention of making the world a better place.
Oh, first off, you weren't there with the start of it. You joined once it had become something that it was already extracted from what Damien and Nora and Evelyn worked on in the first place. And you're digging around in the garbage, you're snooping, you're controlling, it's people like Ray having access to the information that they're talking about in this game. Just that points out the reasons why, even with maybe the best intentions, it's the wrong thing to kind of give that kind of power to these kind of people.
And the thanks we get is people talking in big generalizations about how we're ruining everything. That's what bothers me.
Yeah, but you are ruining everything. It's not a big generalization. I'm specifically calling you out.
Is Eliza perfect? No. No intervention is perfect. But we have to try, don't we? The world is in a full-on mental health crisis, and this is one of the tools we have in our toolkit to address it. A promising one we should develop to its fullest potential.
A toolkit analogy is quite an interesting one because, you know, a toolkit can have a sledgehammer in it. Doesn't mean that that's the right thing that you should use to crack a walnut.
I'm not some wild-eyed idealist about this. I know it's not magic that'll solve everything. But can you see that most people don't have the luxury of turning their backs to the system? Think about the clients you've met as a proxy. Would you tell them to not take the medications that help them be functional because the pharmaceutical industry has questionable ethics sometimes?
Why, yes. Yes, I would. But, you know, that's just because they've been prescribed based on an opinion of a computer routine that seems to only have option A and option B as the solutions. Here, look at this application. Take some tablets. I have no real-world practical advice to give you.
Would you tell them to stop coming to therapy because what they should really be doing is completely changing the way our society is structured?
No, I might tell some of them to stop coming to therapy, though.
Sorry, I'm ranting. I'd rather do something that can help people here and now, even if it ends up being a small step.
A small step.
For some reason, those words echo in my head. A small step. A small step.
Eliza helped me, you know. It really did. I was one of the first clients. Originally, I was just supposed to be testing it, but I remember once I was talking about my brother and how much anguish he was causing me and my family. And listening to myself, I realized just how many expectations we had for him, sometimes unspoken expectations. Ever since then, I've been thinking about that, how the story was always about how he failed us. But what if we failed my brother too?
Now, a lot of these scenarios where people are kind of attributing agency to Eliza in finding the solution to their problems as well seem to me like the same sort of effect could be had if you just painted a face on a wall and talked to that for long enough. That kind of just explaining things out and talking. Granted, there's that slight element of challenge of like simple questions that come in, but there's not really a sophisticated AI-driven kind of deduction behind all of this. It's a slightly animated version of your picture, like picture of a face on the wall.
I guess what I mean is, sometimes when we talk out loud and give voice to our problems, we can hear ourselves too. That's why I won't give up on this approach, no matter what anyone says. Pundits, critics, former employees, even you, Evelyn.
Seems reasonable and measured.
I'll understand if you don't want to work on Eliza anymore for whatever reason. But, I think what you created has value. And I'm going to continue to do what I can to make it accessible to those who might benefit from it.
Ray takes a deep breath and smiles.
Don't mind me.
Okay, not minding you.
You should get to your session.
By now I'm slightly late for the next session. Hopefully the client doesn't mind. Also, no mention of a hangover from getting high and drinking absinthe and staying up late watching cybergoth videos late into the middle of the night. Welcome to Eliza. Hey, pot-smoking granny!
Hello, Holiday.
One of the most entertaining sessions we've had so far has just come back for a second bout.
It's nice to see you again.
This is a pretty comfortable chair, you know that?
That's why you came back. I value your priorities.
Wouldn't mind having a chair like this in my place.
No, you can't take it with you.
How have you been since our last session?
Oh, well, I tried, Eliza. I I asked about the medication for Panza, whatever it's called.
Not even.
I went to the pharmacy and they said, that'll be $162. And I said, I don't have $162. I said, is there a generic? And they said, there's no generic of this, but there's another drug that they do make the generic of that's similar to this one. But I don't have a prescription for that. Do you know anything about that?
I'm sorry to hear you had a difficult time. Is there something that would make it better?
The medical procedures they can do now are out of this world, you know that? I was talking to someone who told me she has wires in her brain. Wires in her brain. Would you let them do that? I'd be worried about them changing the way I think. It's for essential tremors. That's what she said. It helps her not shake so much. There's always something gets you. Did you ever think about what you might have been in a previous life? I know you're a therapist now, but maybe in the past you were a gardener tending to the plants. That's what it feels like to me. You like to let things grow. There's an energy there. It isn't so different from having a conversation with someone whose company you enjoy. Not that I believe in all that, you know. Everyone has got a different philosophy. Philosophy, that's not something I talk about much. I'd like to write a book one day. A book about things I've seen over the years.
Oh, she is all over the place.
Think anyone would read a book I wrote? I'm just kidding. I don't think I could write a book. It's a lot of work. Plus, it takes a certain kind of mind, you know, a mind to create. Not everyone is dedicated enough to do that, you know?
A mind that can stick to one persistent train of thought for more than 2 sentences.
There's a writer who lives on my floor. Most of the time, he looks miserable. Sometimes he comes over for a cup of herbal tea, cinnamon, apple, chamomile. Helps him calm down. I think he's maybe lived in the building the longest after me, of course. He doesn't say much. His head is in the clouds all the time. He's always thinking about what sentence to write next. There's not a lot of people who really want to talk, you know? Not in this city, nope. People say hello and move on. It's a very withdrawn set here. You don't say much either, but I like talking to you. Feels like you're listening to me. I like that. I like that.
I'm glad you like it. While you're here, is there anything else you'd like to discuss?
There was a man on the bus with a guitar yesterday.
Shocking.
You're not supposed to play guitar on the bus. Well, you're not supposed to play anything on the bus, but he was. Maybe the operator didn't think he was bothering anyone, or maybe she didn't care. I've noticed more bus operators seem like they don't care anymore lately. Anyway, it reminded me. You used to hear more music around here. Do you remember that? People playing their guitars on the street. You know, these shaggy-looking men. I don't see too many of those around anymore. There is one gentleman has an old plastic jug on a strap, and he drums on that and sings. He's a nice man. I've seen him around. I saw another man once with beads in his hair. He was playing a flute, a Native American wooden flute. That was interesting. You play an instrument or anything like that?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't understand the question.
When I was young, my mother had this idea I would play the violin. I have no idea where she got that notion. We weren't a musical family, not at all. I tried it for a while, but of course it didn't work out. The teacher would say, okay, here's how it's supposed to go. And she would play this nice, beautiful melody. La-da-dee-da-da-da. Okay, now you try it. And then I'd draw my bow back and I'd go... It takes a special talent to make a violin sound like that, don't you think? Isn't that just the funniest thing? Eventually, my mother realized it was a lost cause and she didn't push me too hard on it after that. I was never too good at anything artistic, just not the artistic type, you know? I think artists have a different mind. You have to be a little wacky in the head.
Do you ever wish that you could be an artist?
No, I have enough trouble already.
Holiday, I'm going to suggest you try a program called Dolphin Smiles. It may help you take your mind off things.
But why?
You can find it inside the Skondo Wellness app on your phone.
Ooh, this is gonna go well.
Oh, my phone broke. I forgot to mention. the screen is cracked and you can't see much on it anymore. I don't know if it would work anyway. A lot of the new stuff doesn't.
That's okay. You can also access the program from a desktop computer.
Oh, is this going to go well?
Simply log into the Skanda Wellness portal from the website.
Oh, well, then I'll just have to go down to the library at some point.
We hope to see you back soon, Holiday. Thank you for speaking with Eliza, your personal counseling partner. Goodbye.
Right. Goodbye. Goodbye for now.
I'll be back tomorrow next time I'm bored and lonely.
Take care of yourself. It's a strange world out there.
She's lovely. Industrious. Must check out our new badge, see what that is. Alright, here we go. What did we get, Industrious? Completed 3 sessions in 1 day. Huh? That was my 3rd session. Okay. I thought we'd only just got in after the night before. Okay, well, whatever. And that was our 10th counselling session as a proxy. Excellent. All right. While we're here, Nora says, LOL. Who knew this guy was such a pompous ass? He spends like 3 times more space talking about himself than me or my ideas. This is Peter Gerd. Can androids experience happiness? Part 1. Each week, a box containing specially chosen ingredients and a few recipe cards is delivered to my Brooklyn apartment. The service I subscribe to offers some limited choice over the contents, but I usually forget to indicate my preferences in time, which means the meal selections are not entirely my own. I don't mind this, even as the service seems to ship me one artisanal quinoa bowl after another, because it saves me from the effort of having to think about and pick out items at the supermarket, where my eyes would glaze over at mountains of functionally identical apples, potatoes, or eggs. Instead, I simply make what I'm told to make. I have freed myself from the paralysis of choice. Throughout the last century, it has been easy to see what we gain from automating our lives. Tasks that once took active attention are safely performed by machines we set and ignore. The washer and dryer, the thermostat, the floor cleaning robot. Each new invention promised to increase our comfort and erase our worries. Then we began to see not only mechanical tasks, but the very work of deciding what to do, what road to take, what foods to eat, what exercises to perform. As the tech world marches inexorably onward, computer algorithms that decide for us have found their way into every aspect of our lives. A few months ago, when I was going through a difficult spell, I made an appointment to speak with Eliza, a counselling program purportedly driven by some of the most powerful artificial intelligence algorithms ever applied to the human condition. Used by tens of thousands of people already, Eliza's low cost and easy availability brings to mind the troubling idea that psychologists and psychiatrists involved in traditional counselling may soon be in as moribund a career as clerical or manufacturing work. Part 2. Eliza itself is pleasant enough. Seated in a darkened room, I spoke with another human being who appeared to be attentive to my all-too-human concerns. This human, however, was only following instructions from the computer program, telling her what to say and what to do at every moment of our conversation. Skanda calls these contract employees proxies, though puppets come to mind as a more appropriate term. Throughout our stilted conversation, Eliza kept prompting me based on words in the last few sentences I said, bringing to mind unfavourable comparisons to other virtual assistants on the market today. Is Eliza the most sophisticated program its claim is Eliza the sophisticated program it's claimed to be, or is it more like an automated customer support tool, a product Skanda also makes, dressed up with the rudimentary trappings of elementary psychology? At a few points in the conversation, I had the sense that I was only paying to talk to a very expensive chatbot. By the end of the session, I'd come around somewhat. I thought perhaps I'd been able to access something within me I could not articulate before. I left the counselling office with mixed feelings, however. I did feel somewhat better insofar as describing one's problems to another is usually an effective therapy. But I was also troubled by the proxy-therapist relationship, with her only purpose being following Eliza's instructions to the letter. The proxy, the only other human in the room, had been reduced entirely to a machine. Is that the price of effective therapy made available to the masses? And if it is it worth the cost to our humanity? One of Eliza's own former engineers has recently come forward to say no. Nora Plavinsky, former senior engineer at Skanda, has lately become one of Eliza's most forceful critics, calling the idea of machine-assisted therapy fundamentally dehumanizing and broken at its core. Plavinsky is at the forefront of small but growing movement of technology workers arguing for certain limits to their own work, based on the premise that certain tasks dealing with humans should never be handled by computers, even if they're enabled to by advanced new technologies. Computers make decisions about human life every day, she told me. Our lives are subtly, profoundly affected by these decisions. From what kinds of goods are available to us in the store, to what premiums we pay for insurance, and what video starts playing next after the one we deliberately chose. It may be too late to turn back the clock on some of those things, but mental health is another decision point, and I think it's a key one for us as a species. Are we really going to turn over our mental wellness to computers after all of the things we've given up? It's still within our power to choose to go a different path. Part 3. Back at home, surrounded by machines developed to free me of the very feelings that I seem to hound me more every day, I opened my latest meal kit. It contains instructions and ingredients to make a Mexican-inspired quinoa bowl with avocado, squash, and farmer's cheese. Sounds just fine, I think, and I go bustling around the kitchen, following to the letter the instructions on the glossy recipe card. That's the end of the article. Meh. I kind of agree with half of the points in there. But it doesn't really drive home a conclusion. Right. Now this is from the Skanda security team. Important notification from Skanda. Hello. A little while ago, we sent you an email with the subject, "How are we doing?" In it, we asked you some questions about your recent experience as a contractor for Skanda and invited you to provide some feedback. We used an external subcontractor to collect and process that data. Unfortunately, we were recently notified that this subcontractor experienced a data breach and an external attacker managed to get unauthorized access to the survey responses and download them. Your responses and email addresses may have been part of the data downloaded by the attacker. While we do not believe that this data is sensitive on its own, we recommend taking the opportunity to check your accounts for signs of identity theft. In positive news, the subcontractor immediately found and fixed the source of the breach to prevent further intrusion. Therefore, please do not hesitate to continue to share your thoughts with us using the survey system. Regards, Sahim, the Skanda security team representative. Man, oh man, they just glossing over the fact that somebody now knows the email addresses of all of these proxies. Awesome. Lovely. Got a lot of time for it. Let's have a look around the room, shall we? Check in on our plant. Hang in there, friend. Hope this air isn't too dry for you. And Based on our previous client, it seemed like she just wanted to tell stories. Maybe it's difficult for her to find people to speak with these days. But interestingly, in terms of building that human AI project that Raina wants us to pick up on, her stories might have real value. We'll see. Oh, it looks like I have another transparency mode lined up. Wait a second. This is for who I just saw. Did she agree to participate at some point? I hope she understood what she was allowing. Okay. I mean, she can't even use her own phone properly because the screen is broken, so we can see it better than she can. That seems a little bit strange. So let's go with the text messages first. There's less of those. We've got 8 emails and 2 text messages, same as the last one. And the things that we're trying to agree or disagree on, overall Holiday is struggling. Holiday is attempting to get out of debt, and Holiday's efforts to get out of debt are unsuccessful. Jeez. Okay, let's start with Paul. Paul. Oh, Holiday. Hello from Seattle. Paul, who's this? Holiday. It's me, Holiday. Paul. Oh, how are you? Holiday. I'm out of money. Probably going to get kicked out soon and nowhere to go. You wouldn't have it in your heart to help out an old friend, would you? Paul. No response whatsoever. Lovely. So the very next day, she hits up Willa. I'm here, says Holiday. Willa. Are you? I don't see you. I'm by the statue. Which statue? Looks like a lady. There are a lot of statues that look like a lady. It's a cemetery. Ah, wait, I see you. Hold on. So she's meeting somebody in a cemetery. I think I know what that might be about. Just an inkling. I feel like I'm invading this person's privacy too much as it is. That's not letting me go into the Skanda Wellness. What about my health steward? Nope, I don't think I need to look at this. Alright, boring. I want to be nosy Evelyn. Not allowed. Right, let's start with November 11th. Okay. Greater Seattle Care Network. Register your account. Dear Holiday, welcome. Your general practitioner has added information about your health to the Personalized Health Information Management Console, powered by My Health Steward patient portal. Please register for an account to view this information by visiting the site. Thank you. Okay, so she's probably not got enough information to know what to do with that. Oh, My Health Steward. New My Health Steward account connection. Looks like she followed it through. A new connection to Greater Seattle Care Network is pending on your Personalized Health Information Management Console powered by My Health Steward patient portal. To best protect your privacy and in order to ensure that your patient records are being provided only to the individual requesting this connection, we ask that you update your My Personal Information section in the portal with your correct information if you have not already done so, including your first name, last name, date of birth, and social security number. You can then request a new connection by completing the following steps. 1. Log into Personalized Health Information Management Console powered by My Health Steward patient portal and select My Account in the upper right hand corner of the screen. 2. From the drop down menu, select Connected Organizations. You will be taken to the Connections Management page. Oh, this isn't complicated at all. There's only 7 steps, of course. 3. Select the existing pending connection request with Greater Seattle Care Network. Click the drop-down menu on the right and click Delete. Confirm deletion of the pending request. 4. Select Add New Collection from the drop-down menu. Click With Providers and Healthcare Organizations, and then click the Add Organization button. 5. In the organization's search screen, select by zip code and enter 98121 in the search field. Under distance, select within 50 miles, and under organization type, select hospital. 6. Select Greater Seattle Care Network in the results screen and click the Add Connection button. If you do not see Greater Seattle Care Network in the search results, try Medical Center for organization type and search again. 7. Read the Release of Information Notice and click I agree. Read the Terms of Service and Privacy Policy and click I agree. Read the HIPAA FERPA Compliance Notice and click I agree. Once you've performed these steps, we should be able to match you to your medical information shortly. My Health Steward. Oh wow, Yay, what a user experience. Awesome job there, guys. 10 thumbs up. Alright, electricity bill. Overdue notice. Holiday. A payment of $204.12 remains outstanding on your account. Failure to pay the outstanding account within 3 days of this reminder will result in a late payment fee of $15 being applied to your next invoice. It's got the invoice number, the account number. You can pay online or you can make a payment using one of the other payment methods as outlined on our site. If you do not make this payment or if we do not hear from you within 3 days, it is our intention to disconnect the premises associated with this account. Prior to disconnection, you will receive a disconnection warning notice that will let you know when the disconnection is scheduled to occur. Billing services. Okay, special deals for senior VIP members at Rosewater Hotel and Casino. Get in the mood. Mondays are Senior Appreciation Days, or SAD, at the Rosewater the Rosewater Hotel and Casino. Every Monday, Club Rosewater VIP members age 60 or older receive $10 in Rosewater cash points. Admittance to the buffet for only $15 until 8 p.m. A voucher for 1 free drink, $1 off towards a $5 Keno ticket purchase, and $5 max play on table games. You deserve the full VIP treatment available only at the Rosewater Hotel and Casino. Don't miss out on this incredible offer. Management reserves the right to void, cancel, or alter any promotion at any time. Willa Durant Crabtree. Help. I'm sorry, Mum. We are really struggling ourselves. Okay, so she was meeting Willa in a graveyard on January the 4th or whenever it was recently. So this is back in December, on December the 16th. So before Christmas, she was asking her daughter for help and still not getting any. Okay. Pay as little, so this is 40-pran HCl, or hydrochloride. This is some sort of premonition because in January we were prescribing this for her. And this was sent December the 18th. So this says, take advantage of our new offer and pay as little as $0, asterisk, for 3 bottles of 40-pran hydrochloride when you fill before January the 30th. Dear Holiday, still suffering from chronic joint and muscle pain? Okay, so Eliza got this right. Take action and talk to your doctor about getting a prescription for 40-pran HCl. But hurry, this offer expires soon. Simply show the code below to your pharmacist to redeem this offer. No savings card needed. It's got the stuff and the asterisk. Okay, the small print. Maximum savings limit applies. Patient out-of-pocket expense may vary. Patients whose prescriptions will be paid for in part or whole by Medicare, Medicaid, or any similar federal or state healthcare program are not eligible for savings or rebates according to federal and state law. The actual savings on your out-of-pocket costs for Fortipran hydrochloride will vary according to refill quantity and personal healthcare insurance coverage. Please review the promotions guidelines on our website to learn more. So you got to wonder whether she made the connection between this and when she went to collect. Okay, building manager, notice of late rent. Regards, apartment number 608. As we discussed in person earlier today, your rent for the month of January was late, marking the third time your rent has been late since June. Note that a Seattle tenant who habitually fails to pay rent, receiving 4 or more pay or vacate notices within a 12-month period, is subject to eviction. I have also delivered a hard copy of this notice to your door, Bobby. Well, at least he's got the personal touch there, you know. Hey, it's Bobby. How you doing? Get out. Right, Eliza program offers. This came in on January 3rd, and this is when she first came to see us, or thereabouts. Dear Holiday, as one of our most valued customers, we would like to give you the opportunity to participate in a pilot of a new feature that has the potential to significantly enhance the level of counseling you receive from Eliza. This new feature involves voluntarily granting us access to some of your accounts, such as email and chat histories. Information from these accounts is then analyzed by Eliza to provide additional insight into your personality, character, and life situation. The data is processed independently of any personally identifying information and will never be shared with other divisions of Skanda or any third party, except in the rare event that we are required to comply with a valid subpoena or other court order. For further information, including a helpful FAQ, full terms of service, and privacy policy, please visit the Skanda support portal. Regards, Edwin Park, Eliza Service Director, Skanda, Inc. Excellent. Overall holiday is struggling. Totes. Yep, she's trying to get out of debt. She's in debt for her rent. She is trying to find money. Technically correct. And she's not getting out of debt because the only avenue of getting money that she's got is trying to ask people for more money, which includes friends and family. And friends and family so far appear to have... Hold on a minute, though. I mean, we're here on January the 16th. What was she meeting up with her daughter for on the 4th? No. I think you're right. It in the chat there. It is a gambler. No, I don't think she's grave robbing. Wow. But if she was supposed to be meeting her daughter to go visit the husband's grave, then I can't remember. Did she say anything about her dead ex-husband? I don't think she's mentioned anything about her husband at all in any of the sessions, so yeah. And you'd assume it would be, I'll meet you at the grave if that was the case, you know. But why would she be meeting her daughter in a graveyard next to a nondescript statue of a girl, of a lady? Yeah, okay, maybe she's not a cheap funeral, jeez. Well, it probably was a cheap funeral, but the daughter would have been there if that was the case as well. And didn't sound like she connected with her daughter much at all, kind of that recently either. Oh, we're struggling too. Hi mum, how you doing? That sort of thing. I don't know. I'll stick that. Yeah, we agree that she's been unsuccessful in getting out of debt. Because in truth, anyway, even if her even if her daughter did come through with some sort of pay packet that was handed over in the graveyard, then that's only going to last her for so long. And if she is going to the casinos and blowing it all, then yeah, that smacks of desperation. I've only got this money left, and I'll try and win some back. No, it's not a pay packet from grave robbing. There is no way that this woman, this sweet old pot-smoking lady, is grave robbing. Oh, says Evelyn.
Hey, Ray, the transparency mode I just did, I think one of our clients is in a really bad situation right now.
Oh? Yeah, sometimes that happens. People come in and their lives are in a really unfortunate place. It can be hard to see sometimes.
I wish there was something we could do, or I feel really sad about it for some reason.
I wish there was something we could do. This person's getting ground down for no reason, just for being in the way.
I'm sorry, Evelyn. There's not much we can do. All of what you learn in transparency mode has to stay confidential. The only exception is suspected child abuse and neglect, which you're required to report if you're a social worker. But proxies aren't really social workers, per se. Eliza is really the one with the agency here, so, well, it's complicated.
As in, we've come this far down this alley and we haven't really thought about what the legal implications are, but we'll just hand wave over the bits that are vague and do whatever is least effort for us.
Probably something for a future court to decide.
Yep. Somebody else's problem. Let's not worry about it now. Jesus.
Either way, we can't try to fix people's lives on our own, no matter how much our heart goes out to them. I think there's an email somewhere with a summary of our policy on that if you want. It's come up before.
No, it's fine.
I half expected Ray to go, what, do you think she's not going to be able to afford the sessions for much longer?
I'm fine. It's just hitting me hard right now.
I understand. It takes strength to focus on the role and not get distracted by what you see. Think of it like, say, someone hired you to install something in their home, and you walk in on a tense family situation. Even if there isn't actual violence you're seeing, it's clear things are kind of off somehow. It's unfortunate, but there's not much you can do in that situation. You kind of just have to focus on your work and leave. If it's not at the level where you need to make a call to emergency services right then and there, then it's just an unhappy home. And most people would argue it's not your business.
Oof.
Sorry, I know that's not the answer you want to hear. I know it happens that a lot of people live in conditions where... I'm just sad. This woman... The way she did 2 whole sessions with me, with Eliza, but didn't say anything about her real problems. Ray, what am I doing? I wanted to make something that would help people. Instead, I made something useless.
You don't think she got some companionship out of Eliza? Sometimes that's really a help, especially for someone who might be feeling lonely.
Yeah, but I could have just talked to her. I could have just spoken to her myself. Why would that be any different?
Everything is just so overwhelming. Why? Why am I here in this world?
I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing here, or even what I'm trying to decide. Is there a decision?
Now that is getting screenshotted. Is there a decision? There's been a few multiple option dialogues in this game so far, but it doesn't really feel like anything that I've done has made a massive impact on the course of the game. I don't feel like I've come to a noticeable fork in the road yet. Maybe this is a bit of deliberate foreshadowing, hopefully. And we're really going to see things start to diverge.
The world is going to be full of grief and sorrow no matter what I do, no matter how hard I try to make it a better place.
Evelyn, did you think about what I suggested the other day?
What, trying Eliza for myself?
Yeah. I'm not saying it'll magically fix things. I just think you might want to give it a try.
Maybe I will. I don't know why I never did. Even when I was working on it, I never used it. It might have been too obvious to me what it was doing. Eliza is really simple at its core, you know? It just turns things around. It tries to reflect what the person says back at them, pretty much like the old Eliza. It's just a smoother version of an idea from half a century ago. Anything you've read that makes it sound fancier than that is just a bunch of academic jargon. It's a mirror.
The thing I like about a mirror is that it has no agenda of its own. It just reflects.
Ray gets a distant look in her eye.
Unmisted by love or dislike.
She turns back to me, a small but kind smile on her face.
Promise me you'll get help somehow, in some way. Okay, Evelyn?
Nope, there's my phone.
Sorry, I should answer this.
It's Raina. So, what do you think of transparency mode? I'm going to say I was given access to it rather fast. Sometimes the system makes interesting decisions. Perhaps it knows to trust you implicitly. Have you noticed how powerful it is? Eliza is now capable of rapidly analysing the contents of a single device and accurately inferring the overall life situation of its owner. It will only improve from there as we add more sources, but more patterns to tease out the connections between them all. It turns out anything is possible with enough data. Get off my data, leave my life alone. And you seem to have quite a lot. Is that why you hoard it all? Or I'm not sure I agree. I think we'll just go for the passive-aggressive. Let me amend my previous statement. Anything is possible with enough high-quality data. There's an unlimited quantity of uninteresting information, but a small amount of certain specific data can be almost incalculable value. Telling one from the other is the difficult part, don't you think? There's one more thing I'd like you to see. After that, I'll meet up with you again in person.
Let me guess. Messaging with Rainer again?
Jealous much?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt our conversation. I always feel like I have to answer him right away.
I would too, are you kidding? I totally understand.
I guess I'm going to be headed downtown to meet with him again.
Summoned from on high. I have something to ask, Evelyn, and it's okay if you say no, but whatever you end up getting involved in, I hope you'll stay in touch with me. You're a really cool person, and well, that's all.
Oh, is she after a little bit of non-contact love?
I hope you find the future you want.
Okay, so we got Me Too, Ray, I hope I do. I'm sure that I will soon, or we don't find futures, Ray. We create them. Right, I'm going to veto the last one because that's like something Raina would say. let's start trying to be positive. I'm sure that I will soon.
I'm sure that I will. Soon.
Ray nods, but doesn't say anything. I notice her eyes are starting to become watery. She turns away abruptly, heading back towards her office. I hope I didn't upset her somehow. Did I just blow my chance with Ray? Right, Soren Lloyd Rose. It begins. Venture post exclusive. Eliza creator raises cash from top VCs for hot new direct stimulation. Hot stimulation. Nice. Hot new direct stimulation startup. Even better. The man behind Skanda's popular virtual counseling app, Eliza, is up to something new, and top venture capital firms are listening. Aponia is the new Seattle startup helmed by Dr. Soren Lloyd Rose, the chief psychologist and project lead for Eliza at Skanda. It has raised $26.2 million from investors, including Wellspring Ventures, Song and Lega Home, and Xiamen Capital. Bay Area-based Wellspring invested in Aponia via its Continuum Fund, which supports startups developing technology to support and improve mental wellness. We find Soren's unique brain-first approach to mental health extremely compelling. Walter Rokish, partner at Wellspring, told VenturePost. He's already redefined what it means to seek support for mental wellness once. We think he'll do it again. Aponia isn't revealing details about its technology yet, but Lloyd Rose himself has said he would be revealing more details soon when he announced the venture at OneMind 2.0 last month. The technology is real and working in prototype form already, he said. And we've got Sarah Kirkchatova informing us of another meeting with Raina. Evelyn, Raina would like to speak with you again. I have scheduled a meeting for 4:35 p.m. today. Wow. As before, a car will come pick you up. Regards. Okay. So, in an hour and a half, we've got another meeting. Excellent. Let's look out the window. Is it there already? Something to see before I go to headquarters again? I wonder what Raina was talking about. Click on the door. I wish I'd known more about her situation beforehand. Not that I would have changed anything. Poor old Holiday. And this logo. Maybe future Eliza counselling centres could point struggling people to community resources. Local rent assistance programs, things like that. There has to be something we can do. Yes. Like pointing out that you had a email voucher for the medicine we prescribed that could have potentially helped you afford it. You know, there's an obvious missing link in there. Oh, looks like I have one more transparency mode to do today. I'll get that out of the way before I meet with Raina again. Soren Lloyd Rose. What the... What the what? What the actual what? Soren has signed up for the full transparency to let people... Right, let's see what's in his mail. There is no email there asking for his consent. There's also no chat from me. He has had chat conversations with me and they're missing. Let's start with Nora. This is way too close and personal. Okay, Nora. So he just wanted to say your show was great. Hi Soren, thanks. Did you have a wild night? Not the wildest night I've ever had, but up there. Definitely feeling pain in muscles I didn't know I had. Yeah, we're getting older. Oh, that is not fair at all. I'm far older than you. Besides, you looked fantastic. Your beauty has only grown since the days we worked together. Sorry if that's inappropriate. Lol. Soren. I'm frailer than I used to be, but the fire's never gone out. Still need to get out and do something bacchanalian from time to time. Yep, I was surprised to see you there. I convinced Evelyn to come too, you know. Don't think she'd have gone otherwise. Excuse me? Ah, thanks. You're welcome. I know you fancy her. Don't you? Sure I do. Everyone likes Evelyn. Okay. See, this is uncomfortable. How do you separate yourself from something like that when it's people that you know? Who's Nikki? Right. Nikki to Soren. Soren to Nikki. I miss you. I know you don't miss me. Oh, that's not true. I know not to trust words like that. Then why say anything? Because it's true. I miss you. I want to see you again. Well, you know how to find me. Yeah, I know. I'll schedule something again soon. I can't believe I do this. Sometimes I hate myself so much. So this is some sort of destructive relationship that he's got himself in. Which sounds like he's connected. And then Sarah. Oh yeah, they're all ladies. Okay. To Sarah. Hey, what are you up to? I've always really admired you. I never told you that before, but it's true. You work with Raynor and put up with him every day. That takes a lot of work, I know. Oh, is this Sarah the assistant? Your talents are wasted in that job. You deserve so much more. Hi, Soren. Are you drunk? Ha, maybe. I'm not lying, though. Don't you want more in life? Don't you want more in life than to be someone's secretary? You're intelligent. Raynor is not exactly an easy boss to work with. I'm sure you know that. Soren, I sure do. Let me take you out sometime. We can trade stories, war stories. I know I have a reputation, but that's with people I don't respect. I respect you, it's different. Yeah, sure. Sarah says, ask me again when you're sober. Okay, I will. And then he never texts back. That was January 12th. Now we've got Andrea. Andrea, are you around? So you're ignoring me. Look, I'm sorry, okay? I've been under a lot of stress. These business fucks are driving me crazy. I should have realised they just grind you down. But he's connected with Nikki. I'm gonna call that a connection of some sort. This is probably just a bunch of ratings and tasting notes. But this is a banking app. I don't think I need to look at this. I think I do. I definitely don't want to see what might be in his photos. Yeah, fair play. Is that a fashion label? I wonder why he has the proxy app. Fair comment. To the emails. Right, January 6th. Done, guys, let us concerns. So the problem here is not what we think it impairs you. You clearly demonstrated to us that whatever your process is, it's working and generating great results. What we're concerned with is optics, really. How it would look in those to those on the outside if it were to become known that there is a drinking culture or something similar at Aponia. You know as well as we do how rumours and hearsay can spread out of control and ignite a firestorm on social media, which is something we're keen to avoid. I hear you about responsible use of alcohol, and also about how most antidepressants don't even come close in terms of their immediate action. Believe me, I've been there myself. What Walter and I are saying is simply be careful to not be so cavalier about this kind of thing, not only in the public sphere, reporters, conferences, etc., but in front of your new hires as well. Don. Okay. Please don't be a pisshead with your new colleagues. Fair enough. Anya Matra, moving forward, Soren. We can do this one of two ways. We can either work together as you suggest and stay professional colleagues forever. If you think you really can do that, I have my doubts. Or we can go our separate ways. There are plenty of places for us to carve out a space of our own in this industry without us running into each other much, despite what you like to say about destiny and the threads of fate. Oh, he's still running that line. I'm laying this out for you as a clear binary choice so you can make a concrete decision about it. AM. So he's been creeping on Anya. This one is Ghislaine Lloyd Rose. That's his daughter. No, Dad, just no. You're supposed to be the genius who developed all these great applications for mental health. Have you ever considered you might need a therapist yourself? Oh, I wish I could have seen the email that has prompted that. Heather Cowperthwaite. What can we do about this? Dr. Lloyd Rose, I understand you have concerns around the way your interview went on MSNBC last week. Reviewing the footage, I believe there are a few successful tactics we can deploy to mitigate the potential negatives and ensure you only receive the kind of attention you're interested in getting going forward. I'm hoping you might be able to take some time out of your, no doubt, very busy schedule to sit down with us and solidify a strategic communications plan for you and Aponia, including key messages, reputation-building activities, and executive media training. With a strong plan in place, there is far less chance of being ambushed by the media. The end goal will be for you to be able to trust us to manage your media profile and appearances so that you can concentrate on the hard work involved in being the brilliant, celebrated scientist and entrepreneur that you are. Hoping to hear back from you soon. Heather Cowperthwaite, Senior Account Manager at Limestone PR. Jonathan, is a partner required? Hi, Dark Horse. Most people come to the seminar with a partner in order to practice and learn with their model, and I think that's definitely the most valuable way to attend. There have been people on their own who have sat in the session and found it worthwhile, but there is a big difference between watching the ties being done and practicing them on a real person. Another arrangement to consider is a 3-person group where 2 riggers take turns practicing on a model, if you're able to arrange that. To answer your second question, yes, you must bring your own rope. Oh my god, it's a BDSM seminar. I recommend at least 2 15-foot ropes and 1 30-foot in order to complete all of the ties we demonstrate. Hope that answers your questions. He's going to a BDSM seminar and he's asking, do I have to bring a partner? Overall, Soren is unhappy. I'm going to disagree. Soren is attempting to connect with others. I'm going to agree. Soren's attempts to connect with others are unsuccessful. I'm going to... Some of them are unsuccessful, some of them are not. So, by the rule of absolutes, they are not all unsuccessful. I'm going to disagree. This isn't a coincidence. It can't be. At the Skanda headquarters building, Rayna's assistant leads me into a different elevator than last time. It's located at the end of a long corridor protected by multiple keycard swipes. Inside, the elevator smoothly ramps up speed as we stand silently. I kind of wish I could talk to this lady, Sarah, if I remember right. It's a bit loud in here. I keep on having to drop the volume in this. It's like maybe the sliders don't reset, but the overall volume does. But I'm not sure what I would say. She's not looking at me. She's looking off into the distance somehow. Even though it's an elevator and the wall is right there. Elevator rides are really awkward, aren't they? Yeah, well, I'll second that. I have the sense that if I tried to say something friendly, I'd be met with stony silence. Or if I asked a sincere question, she would deflect it.
Ah, Evelyn.
Yes, Rayna.
Would you like some tea?
Sure, I'll have some tea.
Sure. Why did you show me Soren's phone?
It's not a surprise anymore these days, is it? A man who enjoys society's respect behaves poorly in his private life?
Yeah, but he needs to give you his permission.
We accept that as common today. Maybe even uninteresting. But would you really be okay working with someone like him?
Oh my god. So we got no but. We got that was a huge violation of his privacy. And as long as he behaves around me, I don't see why not. Right. Now I'd be tempted to go with the bottom one, but probably the most shocking thing to me is that he's not given his permission in any way that I can detect to have his phone invaded. So...
That was a huge violation of his privacy. You really don't care about others.
Privacy. Everyone's worried about privacy.
Oh, fuck you, buddy.
Skanda wouldn't be where it is today if our customers didn't trust us to protect their data. We employ most, if not all, of the top experts in cybersecurity. It's built into all of our products right from the beginning.
And that cybersecurity still needs to protect their data from you, you fish... Oh,
Unlike our competitors, we do more to protect our data than anyone else.
That's not the case I'm worried about right now. I mean, misuse from the inside. For example, if someone wanted to keep tabs on a former employee who was starting a potential competitor...
Oh, but what if it was perfectly legal, due to multiple agreements that the good Dr. Lloyd Rose signed with us when he came here? Are you done questioning me like a tech journalist?
Do you watch my therapy sessions too? Do you read my email? My texts?
No, I haven't done any of those things. How's your research into Eliza proxy use cases going? Any new insights to share?
yeah. Don't like Rayna. Yeah, don't like Rayna. Okay, there's a lot of suffering in this world at the options, or I'm not sure it's really helping people, or I think you could stand to treat your contract workers better. I think I'm in the mood at this point to level with him and say I'm not sure it's really helping people.
I'm not sure it's really helping people.
Our metrics indicate otherwise. Of course, it's only human to concentrate on a small number of corner cases. I heard Soren gave you a demo of his direct stimulation machine.
You heard that, what? Because you were tapping his phone, you creepy bastard.
How's he doing now? All on his own?
He wants to hire me, it's interesting technology, or yes, you... Yeah, fuck you, you tell me, cunt.
You tell me.
Very funny, Evelyn. Let me ask you this. Do you find his vision compelling? A world free of suffering.
Yeah, I do, maybe, or I'm skeptical. I'll be honest, I am skeptical.
I'm skeptical.
By focusing on dreams, Soren is trying to defend his territory. The Western psychological tradition, chiefly Jung and his inheritors.
I'm not familiar with it, or you don't think the field has anything to offer? Question mark.
I'm not familiar with it.
Well, there's no need to be. It's just a bunch of unverifiable ideas. Let's be honest. What has this field actually accomplished? Soren used to try to argue with me about this. He would claim that traditional psychoanalysis has helped thousands or tens of thousands, even millions. I would never dispute that directly. Instead, I would only add that professional psychics and astrologers have helped millions too. Tarot cards help people all over the world every single day. That doesn't mean it's a science.
But if it helps people, isn't it a good thing? Psychology is more rigorous than you're making it out to be here. Alright, it seems rash to dismiss an entire field like that. Okay, so top and bottom arguments are open to countering, because if it helps people, isn't it a good thing? Could be applied to Eliza, it could be applied to the tarot card reading. That's somewhat universal point to anything. It seems rash to dismiss an entire field. Again, he would argue that Soren would disapprove of tarot because he dismisses it just as rashly as Raina is attempting to dismiss traditional psychology. So I'm gonna put my foot down and go with the middle one.
Psychology is more rigorous than you're making it out to be here.
Yes, that's exactly what he'd say.
I know you are. You said you are, but what am I?
Not only did he believe psychotherapy was worthwhile, he also thought the mind was fundamentally irreducible after a certain point. As if there was some undefinable, ineffable soul inside every person. It's all part of his silly, syncretic New Age belief system. Amazing he's held on to that for so long.
Silly man thinking about people having souls. I don't have a soul. Nobody else can have a soul.
I keep an open mind, but saying that something can't be represented with numbers requires a high burden of proof. After all, numbers have been used to represent so very many things. Consider the example we spoke about before, a poem. Could you evaluate a poem using numbers?
Certain aspects of it.
The answer is, of course, yes. Poems are either good, mediocre, or bad. It's entirely possible to create a heuristic that reflects the difference. By aggregating a large enough sample size, we remove localized biases. It would work the same way Eliza does.
You're talking about an algorithm to evaluate poems, or I think I might disagree, Raina.
You're talking about an algorithm to evaluate poems.
Yes, I am. Algorithms can evaluate poems, and eventually, algorithms will write poems. One day, algorithms will write better poems than humans ever have. I know this sounds like a controversial opinion, Evelyn, but it's simply the truth.
That doesn't bother you at all. Sounds like our days are numbered, or what would be the point of that? What's the point in machine-created art? Just spotted an interesting parallel there, actually. What Nora is working on at the minute is very much machine created art as well. Not to the same extent, of course, but yeah, what would be the point in that?
What would be the point of that?
It doesn't matter. There's no stopping it. If we don't take this step, others will. There are hundreds of labs working on the same or similar ideas. Everyone wants to be in this business, the business of recreating human thought in our own image. And at the end of the day, it's not about money. It's about power, control.
I like the way he actually almost sounded on the verge of being turned on when he said those last two words.
Raynor, do you ever get tired of this? The constant drive to compete, to win.
No, I don't. This is what I do.
You never dream of just retiring somewhere and writing poetry.
Oh, there's no need for me to write poems.
I'm going to get a computer to do it for me.
All beauty in this world is temporary, fleeting. That's the truth that underlies poetry and every other art. The pleasures of the senses are just small bubbles on top of a vast sea of forms, sensations, perceptions, thought, awareness. I'm telling you this because it's directly relevant to the Eliza project. Soren says he can induce you to dream things, dream anything. And maybe he can. But what comes next after that? What comes after having the power to experience the dream of anything you could possibly want? You're still just as trapped as you've always been, imprisoned by your own desires.
Freed from desire.
Even if someone like Soren managed to create a world for himself, his own weaknesses and negative thoughts would ruin it. He would poison his own fantasy. His utopia would crumble as soon as he finished building it.
Raynor, what are you trying to tell me?
What I'm trying to tell you is that what Soren is doing is not the answer. A dream by itself isn't enough. Take a close look at the person who chases an end to suffering, and you'll see someone who suffers greatly.
Alright, you're not surprising me there. Then why don't you build it yourself? Or maybe not, but it can be a start. I feel like I'm meandering on this conversation. I've said I'm skeptical, and I'm kind of tempted to let this discussion force me more back towards Soren, which would be, this is the supportive thing, or... And that sounds like a cheap shot. Then why don't you build it yourself? Look at the person who chases an end to suffering. You'll see someone who suffers greatly. I'll go maybe not.
Maybe not, but it can be a start.
What is your dream, Evelyn? What is it that you're working toward?
Just tell me what you want from me.
I've been very clear about it, haven't I? I'm offering you the opportunity to re-enter the field you pioneered at its very pinnacle. I can build you an entirely new research lab, equipped and staffed however you want. You would have access to the world's top engineers and researchers as we continue to develop Eliza's core technologies and generalize them.
And you would have access to all of my personal emails and chats, even after I've left your employ.
You'd also be working with the world's most interesting data set, the input provided by the thousands of ordinary people who speak to Eliza every day. Soon, this generalized intelligence will be everywhere human beings are, hearing them, guiding them, living among them.
It's a nice dream, Raina, or you and Soren have more in common than you'd want to admit. Let's go with the top one. Let's lead him on a little bit more.
It's a nice dream, Raynor.
It's more than a dream. It's a future within our grasp. Think about the vision here. General artificial intelligence, indistinguishable from human intelligence at first, and then surpassing it exponentially. It's nothing short of the creation of a new type of organism, a new type of life. And you, Eliza, could be at the very center of it.
Eliza.
I mean, Evelyn.
Gotcha.
was an interesting slip of the tongue.
Stop it. The Eliza project occupies much of my mind.
Evelyn is Eliza.
It clearly does.
Plus, the names are similar.
I'm starting to wonder why.
Evelyn, listen to me. This is the chance to lead a project that will change the world. It would be a development on the same order as the harnessing of electricity or the semiconductor. It would fundamentally transform society.
For the better, question mark, or I'm not sure I want to transform society. Well, no, you do want to transform. That's why you started. Maybe, or is it still your motivation?
For the better.
What? Do you like the way things are now? Lie back and let the sweep of history bury you if you want, Evelyn. Just know you'll never have a chance like this again.
A chance to change the world. Raina's words echo in my head for a long time. Is that what I want to do? Okay. Let's have a look around the train as is customary. Same route, different reason. It feels strange. Okay, who sat next to me? She's swiping and tapping with a specific rhythm. Must be playing some kind of game. Alright. Lady staring out the window. She looks tired. I'm tired too. It's been busy, difficult 2 weeks. I hope I come out of this with a way forward. Let's jump into the proxy app and see what they've got to say for me. Hey, it's another Ed Park email. Oh, yesterday there was a minor incident at the Bellevue office. During an Eliza session, a client became agitated and began to shout angrily and verbally berate the proxy. The session was halted, security was called, and the man was escorted from the facility, luckily without further incident. I want to give special kudos to Ray Bukhari, manager at the Bellevue office, whose fast action and people handling skills helped to resolve the situation quickly and quietly. Very important, it was quietly. Now is a good time to remind everyone that as a service provider for mental wellness, we are under constant scrutiny from watchdog organizations and the media. It's not exactly fair, but one single mistake is enough to generate an entire negative press cycle around our company. And that is why it's of the utmost importance we deal with every single one of these situations with the professionalism demonstrated by Ray and her team yesterday. We are currently working on rolling out a series of training materials that will better prepare proxies to deal with clients such as these. In the meantime, if you are ever in doubt about your own safety during a counseling session, contact your manager immediately. Regards, Edwin Park, Eliza Service Director, Skanda Incorporated. Eliza Counseling Centers. Appointment, remember. This is an automated reminder that Evelyn Nishino Aubrey has an appointment today at Eliza Counseling Center, Queen Anne. Time 11 AM, proxy first available, we're looking forward to seeing you. Okay, that's a little bit confusing. I assume I booked that appointment. Let's get off this train, it's too noisy. I can't believe I'm going to do this. Yeah, she's booked it. She's booked herself in. Oh, look, there's a find yourself with Eliza. Okay. Skanda Wellness. Important notice. Eliza is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. If you believe you are experiencing serious mental health issues, seek care from a licensed mental health provider. Thank you. Important notice. Protecting the privacy and security of your information is a priority for everyone at Skanda. You have agreed to the Skanda Wellness Terms and Conditions, which governs how we use and share your data. Okay. Please confirm your personal information. Name, age 34. Skanda Wellness account not found. A linked Skanda Wellness account was not found. You can link your Skanda Wellness account later at the Skanda Supports portal. In order for us to get started, please help Eliza understand how you've been feeling over the last week with this brief 7-question survey. I've been feeling down, depressed, or hopeless. Last week. No, I've been quite active, cynical, yes, but no, not depressed. We've been trying to stay positive every step of the way. Let's do this. I've been feeling tired or having little energy. I can't deny that. I have experienced trouble concentrating on things. Casting mind back. What did we do? No, we've been okay concentrating on things. I've been feeling nervous, anxious, or on edge. Again, I don't think there's really been nerves or anxiousness. No. I've been having trouble relaxing. No, I think we relaxed quite nicely. I have been easily annoyed or irritable. Nope. I have been afraid as if something terrible might happen at any moment. No, just uncertain mostly, really. Thank you for registering with the Eliza, your counselling partner. We hope you enjoy your Eliza experience. It's the same room that I used. I guess sit here and wait for my proxy to show up. Feel like I've been waiting a while. I hope the appointment actually got made. Ah, here she comes. I think I've seen her around here before, but I don't know her name. I wonder if she recognizes me too.
Hello, Evelyn. Hello. Did you find the place okay? Yes, I work here. Of course. It's been a windy morning, hasn't it? Yeah, I kind of like it when it's like that, honestly. The wind makes it feel like things are changing, or about to change.
Ah, the winds of change.
Mm-hmm. So, what brings you here today? Well, I've been a proxy here for a while now. And, well, I guess I don't know what I expected. There's just so much suffering and pain in the world. There's the suffering we know about, the kind we see on the news, and then there's the suffering people undergo every day that's hidden. I never knew how much until I started doing this, seeing it all like this. And there's so little we can do for them. I feel like maybe I was really, really wrong. Like, I made a huge mistake. I wanted to create something that would help people, but...
Ooh, flashback.
When I first designed the core of this system, I wanted everyone to have someone to talk to. Someone who would listen to them. I thought, sometimes that's all you need. Someone to listen.
Well, simple ambition.
But now I'm worried what I've done hasn't helped at all. Maybe I've made everything worse. Clients are asking Eliza to solve things that are out of its ability to solve. It's aggregating sensitive personal data, and the company that owns it wants to take it in strange directions. It's been 3 years since I left. I thought I was well enough now to come back into the world, but maybe I wasn't ready. Maybe I made a bad choice trying to get involved again. Why do you think you tried to get involved again?
Oh, she's really not good on the delivery, is she?
I guess I needed to see it. I needed to see it operating, to see if it works, to see how it affects people. How it affects the people who come here for counseling and the people who act as proxies. Even though the proxy thing, that wasn't my idea. It was Soren's. I thought talking to a computer-generated avatar would be enough, but he insisted on it. He said clients would only really open up if there was another real human being in the room. Someone to pretend to interact with. I think he was right, but have we really solved anything? Now instead of 2 people in a room talking, we have 1 person and 1 proxy. It feels like less than it could be. What am I supposed to say to someone who feels such pain, anger, and disappointment? A lot of the time, it's not even their fault. The world failed them somehow. And those emotions, they just get fed to this thing. They get ground up and turned into data and become a part of Eliza. If I had known things would turn out like this, I'm not sure I would have done it.
It sounds like you're regretting a choice you made in the past.
I feel like maybe I spent 10 years going in the wrong direction. I feel like all I've contributed in my life is a chess piece for Raynor to use in this grand game he's playing for the world. Maybe someone else could feel proud and say, I made that chess piece. But it doesn't matter, does it? Nobody cares about the individual pieces. Chess pieces are sacrificed in the name of enacting a strategy. If you want to win, you have to sacrifice. That's the design.
So this is definitely chunks of dialogue that have been picked based on the choices I've made. Fair enough. This is good.
Sorry, I don't know where I'm going with this.
Evelyn, imagine that you could have something that you wanted. What would you want?
What would I want? Like, what would I want in life? What I want in life is...
Whoa, lots of choices. Okay, so what I want in life is, I don't know, is to escape all of this, to be loved, to be valued. I want success, power, or control. I want to understand what's really going on. I want to enjoy what I can. I want to be at peace with myself. I want to be seen and heard. I want to excel at something. I want a family. I want just a normal human life. I want to survive. Or I want nothing. Okay, excuse me while I consider this for a while. This is a what's that? All of the above. Well, yeah. I mean, she's made reference a few times to just wanting to get back to normality. So, you know, just a normal human life would be an interesting one. But then she doesn't really want that. And wanting to enjoy what she can, it seems a little bit self-centered for the kind of character we're talking about here. Wanting to understand what's really going on is quite an interesting one. I'm a little bit worried that that only stands out because it's the longest answer that's there. But that seems to be... I think there was something Nora said recently that, you know, you look at something from all of the different angles and then progress. So if you have that in life, I understand what's really going on in life, then that thereby informs, that gives you power and control. Maybe not control, but it certainly gives you power to make evaluated decisions. She doesn't seem to be too fussed with being valued. And of course she wants to be loved. Well, maybe. Don't know. The I don't know action, the answer at the top is actually quite a strong one. She definitely doesn't want to escape all of this. On the other hand, she's been given a lot of information. So if she doesn't understand now what's really going on, then no, I'm gonna just jump on it.
To understand what's really going on. Is that wrong? Or maybe I just wish I could feel connected to someone.
Oh, you're just gonna divert me down some of the other answers as well then. Interesting.
Even when I talk to people, I feel like I just don't connect, no matter what I do. I think maybe that's the real problem. I can't have a connection to anyone.
Why do you think you can't have a connection with anyone?
She barely sounds different to a robot.
Because it's the way I am. It's the way I've always been. I can't seem to get people to see me, or I can't let them see me, or people look at me and they see something there, but it's not me. Not that I would know what the real me was.
Probably makes you a perfect candidate for a proxy, though.
I don't even know who I am or where I come from. My parents were never together. My father moved back to Japan right after I was born. I have no memory of him, no knowledge of him. I've never spoken to him. I don't know if he remembers I exist, or if he forgot, or if he wants to forget. He has his own family there now, so... so I'm just a thing that happened once. I was alone a lot, and I got used to being alone, and I got used to the idea of being alone, and now I can't break away. I've been trying. I speak with people, I hang out. I don't know if it's working.
Is there someone with whom you feel like your communication could work?
Someone I can communicate with. Well...
Hey, there's Nora, there's Ray, there's Soren, there's Raina, there's Erland. Not really. There's a lot of things that Ray stands for that just piss me off, to be honest. There's a certain absolutism about it, but she's you get past those things, she's a really warm and nice and thoughtful and caring person as well. If a little bit obsessed with her own fame and getting the spotlight. Soren, wow. Let's not go to the BDSM club and get tied up. There's Raina, who frankly I detest and think he has no soul. But on the other hand, he's watching this session right now, isn't he? There's Erland, who's an adorbs little baby engineer, as everybody keeps on referring to him, who really seems to have his heart in the right place. In fact, Soren and Raina are the bad guys of this piece, really, aren't they? They're, for different reasons, they are not nice people. Ray is maybe a little bit flawed. Nora... I mean, Nora's got a crush on me. There's that. She hasn't exactly been a persistent friend. She left you for 3 years. But you barely even know Erland. But then the level of discussion that you have with Erland on an intellectual level is quite pleasant. And that draws you more down the line of going back into the work. But going on record with Eliza and saying, yes, I'm lined up with Nora, who's been speaking out against you, might not be the smartest move, but... I don't know, chat, what do you think? I'm tempted to say let's go with Nora. Nope, looks like I'm getting no help off the chat.
There's Nora. She's really talented and works really hard. She has so much to bring to the world, so much beauty and joy. I see what she does, and I want to cheer her on as she makes incredible new things. I hope she knows how amazing she is.
Interesting. Evelyn, I'm going to suggest you try a program called Virtual Amphitheater. It may help you feel more confident about presenting yourself in public. You can find it inside the Skanda Wellness app on your phone. Try it for about 20 minutes, 2 or 3 times a week.
Sure.
We hope to see you back soon, Evelyn. Thank you for speaking with Eliza, your personal counseling partner. Goodbye.
Bye.
Okay, now there was a lot. Yeah, she was shit. Thank you for talking with Eliza. I know it was a good voice acting job, but yeah, there was a lot of divergent options there. That would potentially take a lot of playthroughs to kind of investigate all of those. I don't know how I've gone in terms of what other streamers have picked up until now, but yeah, that chapter definitely makes me wonder about replayability on this, and all of a sudden previously it felt like I was just clicking through and there wasn't a lot of change, and now I'm starting to think, well, actually no, there's a lot just off that set of decisions. Evelyn's saying, I don't know how I feel. I can't tell if I feel better or worse or anything. I just want to lie down forever. Oh no, we're back here again. Erland, something occurred to me. Eliza is a little bit of computer code attached to a corpus made of thousands of unhappy people who poured their miseries into it. It makes her kind of a god or spirit, doesn't it? A modern machine god, the way that the people pray to alleviate their pain. Erland, are you okay, or you're being weird again? Are you okay? Haha. Sorry. I like having someone I can talk to about these thoughts. I thought Skanda would be filled with interesting people, but most of them are pretty boring. Maybe Rayner wouldn't mind talking about that kind of thing. He likes thoughts about the past and future of humanity. Yeah, but he's my boss. I need to be professional around him. When I hang out with people my age, it's just money, money, ambition. Get the best job, best house, best partner. We all started racing into normal adult life as soon as we could. At least you're doing well by that measure. Well, that's true for almost any stage of life, though. I'll say at least you're doing well. In charge of a program is as strategically important as Eliza at your age? Maybe so. I took this job for the opportunity, but I don't know. I feel like it can't be the only thing. There's something more to life, isn't there? I'm the wrong person to answer that. Even if I weren't, it's not the kind of question I could answer for you. Haha. Yeah, I understand. Maybe you could talk to someone about this. Someone qualified. I just did an actual Eliza session for the first time. Yeah, did it help? I think maybe it did. I'm still deciding, or probably not. I'm still deciding. Yeah, I should probably be dog fooding all of our apps. Eliza and the rest of them too. You should be what? Or it would be a good practice. You should be what? Eat your own dog food? You never heard of that one? It means use your own products. Now that I think about it, it's a weird phrase, huh? Yeah, it makes me wonder. I might have to try something. What do you mean? Nothing? An experiment? Or just thinking out loud? An experiment. Not something bad, is it? I hope you learn something. Whatever it is you plan to do. And that brings us to chapter 6. Let me just quickly have a look at the gym order. So it's not letting me into the Skanda Wellness app anyway. Who is important to you? That's the only thing that came up yesterday. Okay. Cat. Right. And that's where we leave Eliza. Oh, wow. Okay. How far back does this go? Nice. Okay. Hadn't actually looked at this history tab before, but it's a full history of everything we've done. Nice. Okay. With that, I'm going to end the stream. Yeah, bit of an interesting set of decisions there partway through, just as I've been really tiring of the single track kind of approach. We're kind of left with little bits more information, more story, and some really, really sinister goings on. I don't think I'll be streaming this tomorrow, so tune in Monday night for another session where we'll take on chapter 6 and see where this story takes us. Thanks everybody, good night.